Yo, welcome into the Fantasy Sickos BS show. We're closing out November. It is November 30th. We're doing this live stream while we're watching the game. We got some good takeaways. Lots happened so far, so let's get at it, boys. What's up? How's it going up there in Colorado, Mr. Dovecast?
What is up, you guys? Things are good, man. Ready to kick off here. Week. Oh my God, I don't even know what week it is anymore. It's week 13, and I'm ready for
Dude, we're on episode 14 of this show.
it.
So,
Yes,
Cassie, when you joined the show, did you actually think we were going to get all the way through 14 episodes and still be stoked about doing it?
I was not sure about that. No, but it just gets more and more fun each time.
Yeah, no, and everyone that's actually listening to this thing, look, I'm under the weather today. We have been slam busy. We are doing our best to fit this in, so this is very important to us. We really take this seriously. Smitty, how's it going up in LA? You're all Rams out. You got your Woodson jersey on, or what do you got on?
This is Leonard Floyd. Unfortunately, he's playing for the Bills this year, but he still got my heart, just like a player got my heart, Kyron Williams, that we'll talk about later. But
Well,
yeah,
Leonard
it's good to
Floyd's
be
going to
here.
step up, man. He's got Von Miller possibly getting suspended, so he might have a big run at this at the end of the year.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if y'all want to know about this, but Floyd was the guy who tackled Aaron Rodgers, which is why he's out for the season. He tackled his Achilles. So shout out to Floyd, and also,
Damn.
God damn it, Floyd.
Man, you're always coming with some good stats, and I love the nicknames too, by the way. So the episode that we had to do two last week, I actually got in to hear your conversation when I had to drop out. Dude, you're right, Cassidy. You are always hitting the middle names on everything, Smitty, and it's great. I
That's
didn't
funny.
really realize that until Cassidy said something. So, all right, boys. Well, let's get into it. So let's talk a little bit about what we learned and thoughts of the week from week 11. Let's stay on you, Smitty.
Oh man, Kyron Williams, Kyron Williams, Kyron Williams, Kyron Williams, Kyron Williams. How's y'all's week?
Um, it was okay. It was your boy Kyra did that against my team, so we are one of the worst run defenses in the league, so it didn't surprise me whatsoever. But until Cassidy gets back, we'll jump off topic real quick because inside of our triple C, Tony was putting some things, and it jumped into another league we're in with Rumble about the trade for Kyron for JT,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's kind of been a cool little thing, and I've been liking that. So you're on the Kyron side big time right now of him being the back in into next year as the RB1 there next year.
Well, RB1 there, yeah, only because this draft class, as I see it, don't really have too many gyms. So we're gonna have to look at free agents. We're gonna have to look at the fact that we're not trying to spend much. We're gonna have to look at the fact that we got Zach Evans hopefully developing. He did get a little bit of play against the Cardinals, so I don't know. It's gonna be the Kyron
You
show
guys
next
cancel me?
year, like almost guaranteed. Like I'm 99% sure about that. Versus JT though, now that's the fun debate.
It's an interesting debate because Cassidy, I want your question because we've been in another chat and you went off for a second, so I changed topics. But is JT equal in any which way to Christian McCaffrey? Because I've seen some things come out, and I think Christian McCaffrey is a top three back to ever play in the game, and I don't think JT is a top 20 back to ever play in the game, but he's a top 30 back. So, how do you feel about JT versus Kyron?
Versus Kyron? Oh man, I think that
Oh, sorry,
probably.
CMC. My bad. CMC.
I don't hold those guys. I don't look at those guys through the same lens. CMC is the full package. I mean, he's got the in between the tackles. He's got the shifty cuts. He's got the pass catching ability. I kind of think that he's in a tier of his own in the league these days. But JT's, he's arguably a top 10 back in the league, but it's just he's got to be healthy, and we haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah, CMC is Barry Sanders. He is tier zero. Like there isn't even a tier for him. He's God in the running back universe. So
Yeah.
welcome back. We're going over thoughts of the week. We obviously got into Kyron a little bit, but tell me a little bit about what you learned, Cassidy. What's your thoughts of the week? I like your take here.
Yeah, man. Well, so first of all, I'm sorry if anyone listening to this is an Eagles fan, but they're starting to look legit. They really are starting to kind of gel together, look like a legit Super Bowl contender. But everyone's talking about the Bills, really bad breaks for the Bills, and how they're probably not going to make the playoffs. But one thing I noticed was that Josh Allen, he's still one of the best, just hands down single players in the NFL. I mean, that dude was playing like just a man out of his mind. I mean, yeah, they lost to the Eagles, but that dude threw for 330 yards, threw for a touchdown, ran for 80, ran two more in. I mean, he had the whole team on his back, and it was kind of heartbreaking that he wasn't able to pull it together. But, don't lose sight of him. He's still, fantasy gold. And then, of course, all eyes are on the Broncos, man. That team's heating up. They've been fun to watch. So let's see what happens when they get on the road and they go to Houston this week. That's the
So
true
I've
test.
been I've been waiting to talk about the Eagles because we talked about who's the best team in football. On paper, on record, and with the way they've won, it looks like the Eagles. But do people realize how close the Eagles are to having 4 losses right now? They tackled Schumacher at the 1 inch line to solidify a win. MVS dropped a wide open 60-yard touchdown to solidify a loss for Kansas City. And then, we go over Gabe Davis. I mean, that, I don't know if it was a quarterback or him, but that should have been a touchdown. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we're really close to Eagles not even being in this conversation, but good teams win football. What's your take on the Eagles right now, Smitty?
Just once they get that secondary on pat, they are the best. But everything else, I mean, amazing. Everything else is amazing. Love the offense. Love that defensive front. Oh my God. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if Jalen Carter is to steal the draft, even though he was a first rounder, because that kid might but alone might win them another. I mean, or the another Super Bowl ring. So shout out to them. I love that team.
I agree. It is. It's a Jalen Hurts train, man. That guy's unbelievable. But I kind of got off topic on fantasy football with my thoughts of the week. Like I've been watching Hard Knocks. So I watched the first 2 episodes last night, and we kind of talked right before we got in here. Where you guys, Cassie, you're not watching. Smitty, you think it's boring. I got to tell you, this is my favorite episode. Mike McDaniel's. I did that. What coach was my alter ego? It is 100% still Mike McDaniel's. He looked, and I say crap to people all the time right before we're in like big moments of anything. He looked at Tyreek Hill before one game and looked at Denny I and goes, if you're not fucking talking in the third person at your press conference, I didn't do my fucking job today. I thought that was one of the greatest things you could ever tell a player. It's like, it's not on you, it's on me. But Hard Knocks is epic, man. I think I'm jumping on board Miami. Like, I think just kind of getting to know them a little bit better and Cheetah, it's just, why are we not talking about them in the Super Bowl race? But we'll maybe get on that in a little bit. But the other thing that I noticed when we were talking about Jalen Hurts and who's the best football team is we're going to talk later in this draft about like Marvel Universe and their greatest villains. But I don't know if anyone is an M. Night Shyamalan fan. But one of my favorite movies is Unbreakable. Right
Yeah.
before Right before overtime, they just show, and Jalen Hurts is sitting there, he's got his raincoat on, it's pouring rain, he's just sitting there with just this stare on his face, looking like Bruce Willis from that movie as a total superhero. Jumps up, throws it off, walks out on the field, and the game was over from that moment. He took the game over. Unbreakable, superhero, Jalen Hurts, MVP right now in the lead for sure. But what did you guys think about how he ended that game? I mean, it was like, you guys are not as good as me.
I
Cassie.
think you just made the coolest comparison ever. That was fire. Oh my God. Now I have
I've been
Yeah.
waiting for that one.
to that.
I totally agree,
Oh
and the
my
way you
God.
brought that back around to the conversation around Josh Allen putting the team on his back, yeah, Jalen Hurts did the same thing. It did seem like it was a contest between two superheroes, right? And the
Yeah.
best prevailed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in that movie, Bruce Willis's his kryptonite was basically water. He always drowned. Jalen Hurts doesn't even have the kryptonite that guy has, man. It's absolutely epic. So let's talk some plays of the week. Let's get into some plays of the week. Dub, let's hear your play of the week.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. We're talking about that game. So I just think there was just something, the writing was on the wall that the Eagles were going to win that game. They're going to do it, whatever it took. And do that Jake Elliott 60-yard field goal that was after 2 delays of game. I think they were on Jason Kelsey, twice made them move back 5 yards. And, he had to kick the 60-yard field goal to tie it. And as soon as Jake Elliott made that kick, you just knew they're going to go on and win the game.
Yeah, I always let you guys pick first. That by far I think could unanimously be ours because I did not think he was going to make that. The announcers were, I think it was Troy Aikman in that game, but he was just slamming Jason Kelsey for the 2 bad snaps. But I think that's a game you look back and you say this is why we're going to make a Super Bowl because they're going to get a bye. They're going to get a bye. Big game this week. Smitty, what did you think about that play? And then as you're talking about it, just jump into the game we're looking forward to. 49ers v. Eagles this week.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I thought the Jake Elliott kick was incredible, and I do definitely think it was the play of the week in my opinion. Um, Going against Philly, I mean, so Philly versus San Fran. I mean, man, fly Eagles fly. Let's just keep it going. Let's just keep this rolling. Let's steamroll everybody at this point.
It's fun football. It's
It
really
is.
fun football to watch. It's great. Who's your play of the week, Smitty?
Man, Kyron Williams ended the day with 204 yards. That is crazy, especially just for one player. So my play of the week is every single play that got each and every yard to that
uh,
204. Are you kidding me?
I guess
That
You're
the
was
getting
Rams
close to a
boycott has been
timeout.
lifted.
that was
Smitty, you're getting close to a 2 week timeout again. I'm telling you, you're getting
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
204. Wow. I want that number tatted on me. 204.
You look good. You look good. Who the Rams got this week?
Cleveland.
All right, we're
And by
gonna
the
we're
way, by the way, this is the first ever NFL Japanese animation collaboration. So the Rams are collaborating with the massively successful anime One Piece for like just a good old time SO5. I think they're giving away like towels and like One Piece collab towels. I mean, it's a very exciting time to be a Ram, honestly.
you going to
And
the game?
even, you know what? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. But this is massive for anime. This is massive for the NFL, and I do want to see what this can bring for going forward. So shout out to the Rams, man. We them.
I love it. So before we get to Cass, answer this real quick. 49ers, Eagles, who wins? Right now, who you got?
I think we know that who Smitty's gonna say. He's
Yeah,
can't even
Niners are
keep a
gonna
straight face.
Niners are winning this football game. Cassidy, let's see, where are we in this thing? Sorry, I got off
You
track a little bit. I'm gonna
you
jump
need
into
your
my
play of the
play.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to jump into my play of the week. So I want to talk about the NFL. I'm pissed at the NFL right now. I am fucking pissed at the NFL right now. Excuse my language. But Andy Holloway went off on it this week, and I hate it when we record on Thursday because they always steal something I want to talk about. But you know what,
Yeah.
NFL? Period. Fantasy football and gamblers are the reason y'all make so much money at this point because
For
look at
sure.
your ratings. Stop messing with things that are fun because my favorite outside of that field goal was Tyreek Hill grabbing the phone from the cameraman and doing a backflip because that was an epic moment I thought in the game. And the NFL goes and suspends that guy, the cameraman, for the rest of the year and possibly forever. NFL, grow up. People like us, we want to watch things that are fun. Make the league fun. Who cares? It's a phone. He did a backflip. That's an epic moment. That was my favorite play of the week, and it's a good reason to call the NFL out. Grow up. Let's focus on the people that really matter to you at this point because your traditional footballists, guess what? They're like traditional baseballists at this point where, oh, tradition matters. They're dying. They're dying. New generation guys, step it up a little bit. Cassie, what's your thought on that? Should this guy be suspended? I'm pissed.
I'm with it. Let's keep it fun, I mean, every once in a while they do kind of catch on and they brought back touchdown celebrations and it's like they know to some degree, but they're unwilling to totally, make these shifts in the direction of, dude, just keep people watching this game and having fun. So yeah,
So
that was
Chad,
ridiculous.
Chad Ochocinco once grabbed pom poms from a cheerleader and did his little pom pom dance. Should that cheerleader have been 86 for the league forever because of that?
That's a great example. No, of course not.
Absolutely not.
I've been waiting for this, boys. What's your thoughts, Smitty? And then we'll jump on to news and notes.
Yeah, no, keep the league fun. I frankly did not see this celebration, so I kind of wish I looked it up because God, Tyreek Hill is so fun. He's probably the highlight of Hard Knocks this season,
Yeah, yeah.
He's
No,
the highlight
I'm
of the
telling you,
NFL this season.
he's
and his
going.
run.
He's going 2,000. He's out there catching balls, and his hand wasn't even working in one of those games this year. So, all right, boys, you ready? We got a drop for you. Let's get into some news and notes. All right, guys. So, Bryce, Bryce, man, is this 3 weeks in a row high score? I think. 3 weeks in a row, maybe 4. He's on a 10-game win streak, I think, with the median right now. So Bryce, 250 points basically. Well done, well done. Out there absolutely crushing it. Um, we'll talk about Bryce's team in a little bit. We're going to get into coaches of the week, but as we go into high scores, we have low scores. Jay Hebert, I'm sorry, 119 points. You did it against me. It felt good to have someone not score at least 205 points against me in a week. It did feel good. I'm sorry that the wrath of my team went against you. And by the way, I've been talking in the league chat. Tim, it's on. I'm taking you down. You better grab the medium because my plan is to try to get you out of that number 1 seed. Big time. And Adrian Dunn did it. Adrian Dunn did it. You better get some wins this week because if you're looking at a possibility of if you lose, you don't get into playoffs next week, I am taking you down. I'm playing spoiler. So, Jay Hebert, 120. So when we look at that, you guys still sticking on who you guys thought was the best team in the league? Because you had Sad Disco, who had a really good win this week, Smitty, and Cassidy. You still had Bryce, so I think that's proven your point. But Smitty, are you still sticking on Joe being the best team in the league right now?
100%. But honestly, before I get into it, congratulations, guys. Like, that was a huge victory and I don't really remember. I think it was 240 something points. Incredible. I think that's the record for you guys this year, I think. So, honestly, congratulations. That was fireworks fantastic. And I'm really excited to see you guys rise up. Maybe you guys will get that 6 point. I mean, if you guys just keep on this type of roll, who knows? So, that was awesome.
We're going to get an elimination. I'm mathematically eliminated. We're done. I'm playing straight up spoiler. Straight up spoiler, my team. It's straight spoiler. So, Cass, Bryce, still your best team in the league?
Yeah, he's certainly. But when we talked about it last time, I picked Tim. I still think Tim might have the most well-rounded team, but dude, Bryce T is on a tear, and you better watch out. He's got the momentum.
Better watch out for Snake Eyes too, where he's fighting for a bye right now, big time.
Yeah.
So, bad beats of the week, guys. Sorry, brother. Sorry, Smitty. It nines and dimes, man. I love how you keep changing your name. I literally in our notes have to put who your team is. Like when I put your team name, your name next to it. So yeah, Dr. John, sorry, my man, but Smitty beat you, 219 to 209. That was a pretty hard loss right there for John. He's fighting for playoff seed right now. So Smitty, you're fighting for playoff seed too. So big time win there. And then Joe beats Out My Balls, 217 to 205, almost the same score before. But those are close games, and I know the pain of scoring 200 points and losing, and it absolutely sucks. And, we just talked about the Philadelphia Eagles, how good teams find a way to win. Well, Joe might be the best team in the league. I am growing on that, Smitty. I'm really starting to grow on that big time. Yeah, so let's get some waiver wires pulled up here. Let me do that. So anything else you want to talk about the seeding right now and who you guys think is dark horses for playoff spot?
Oh, God. I say I have a better idea of it after this week. But bye weeks is hurting a couple of them.
That usually happens when we're in week 13. That usually have a good idea who's making the playoffs after it. All right, so let's jump into some waivers, guys. As we look at waivers real quick, so my boy Gerald Everett, I'm going to talk about him in a little bit. Bryce, good pickup, finally went off. I've been talking about him all year. Of course, second I drop him, he goes off. $18. We all said second highest bid was $9 by me and John at $8. I think that's a great pickup. Somebody's got to score, catch the ball in that offense. Can Gerald Everett be a top 8-9 tight end moving forward? Because that's a very valuable scoring piece in this format, Cassidy. What do you think?
Yeah, I think in this particular format, he's a valuable piece. I don't have him in my top 10, but with all the injuries on the Chargers, he's becoming Mr. Necessary for sure. I mean, I understand why you dropped him, and I've been kind of off of Everett this year, but that team's pretty beat up, so they need him.
Yeah, I think it's a good piece just in case. I picked up Jeff Wilson for $10. That's just in case my boy doesn't play Buzz Lightyear. Outbid people by $10 on that one. Way to go, Brian. Buccaneers D, I picked up $9. Second highest bid was $0, so I wasted $19 at Fab. Curtis Samuel to Snake Eyes. Let's spend some time talking about Curtis Samuel. We need to give this guy some credit. Maybe this is the, not welcome to fantasy football, but welcome to actually being in the conversation. This guy's putting up some points, and this offense is going to be behind. Smitty, can Curtis Samuel possibly be the flex play against a matchup in the playoffs that wins you a week?
Whoa. You know what? Just because Sam Howell swings or slings the hell out of that ball, someone's going to be the beneficiary. And I think Curtis Samuel has deserved it. So my answer is yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I
I
think
called
Curtis
Antonio
Samuel
Gibson a
deserves
league
it.
winner, and that was right when Curtis Samuel started going off, and it's apparent to me that they're behind Curtis Samuel's going to get the football. Cassidy, any thoughts on Curtis Samuel?
Yeah, my thoughts are I wish Antonio Gibson was getting those targets.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I think Curtis Samuel's a good real life wide receiver, but he's just so disappointing to see so much volume, kind of being robbed from these guys that we want to start, like Terry McLaurin and Johan Dotson, and
Yeah.
he's just stealing these snaps that we want to see go elsewhere.
Yeah, but we got to look back. Let's look back 3 years, maybe 4 years, somewhere in there. But he paved the way for what Debo Samuel was.
Yeah,
That year that he was the running back, everything like he paved the way that it can be done when he was in Carolina. And I've always liked the guy. I hope he
yeah,
can
he's
do
a great
something.
player.
Yeah, I believe he's an Ohio State wide receiver, and somehow they always seem to make some moves. But real quick, I'll run down the rest. We got Elijah Moore picked up by Adrian Dunn, did it for $2. Hopefully, you get some good
It's a good
quarterback
pick.
play. Maybe Joe Falco or Flacco this week. Luce Musgrave picked up by Tim Ho. Throw him on his IR. I think he knows something we don't, but maybe he comes back and maybe you can play him. Jaguar, Smitty, good matchup this week. I actually like the deep you picked up
Yeah,
there. Snake Eyes, Samaje Perine, he's going to get some touches. And oh my gosh, we see Wandale Robinson come off the board, dropping Jay Williams from Tim Ho. I don't know how I feel. Can he do anything? Does he have anything in a quarterback play that can get him the football, Smitty?
Hey, we're talking about Wando, right?
Yeah.
The veto's a thing. The veto's a thing.
unfortunately, DeVito is a thing.
It is a thing. Unfortunately, it really is. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's jump on it. Cassidy, I like this. You want to read off your Would You Rather?
Oh,
Yeah, sure. It's always fun when you throw in a little fun segment like this. Real quick on those waiver wire pickups, you were kind of dismissive of your, Jeff Wilson pickup, but that's a good pickup, especially if your team has the need. Plus, you're playing keep away because you don't want anyone else to have that
and
play. But
insurance.
we don't know what's going on with Buzz Lightyear. So until we know what's going on with Buzz Lightyear, I think Jeff Wilson's a perfectly good flex play.
Well,
Um,
then I didn't even know he was on waivers. Sadly.
yeah, exactly. Like I was surprised that he was too. All
Yeah.
right, so this is going to be tough, you guys. I think you're going to have a hard time making this decision. You got to really think this one through. So, just real quick, would you rather, and especially because I know where you guys live, give up air conditioning and heat for the rest of your life, or the internet for the rest of your life? So you can only have one of those two. Climate control or internet. What is it?
It's easy for me, Smitty. You want to get going because it's a simple choice for me.
Wildly easy. Oh my god. I'm giving up AC. I don't need that. I damn near live on the net. I am the net.
Yeah, it's easy for Smitty. It's almost impossible in Arizona.
So I'm getting rid of the internet. Period. I don't care.
Hmm.
I realize it's going to make this podcast more difficult. I might have to we might have to meet up weekly somewhere, just record it over the phone. But man, I have been waiting to live in a world that we go dark. I hate smartphones. I hate big corporate America tracking everything I do. I hate cookies. I hate malware. I just had to get a new computer because of malware. Dude, I would drop the internet like a heart attack. But what I think I would try to do is I think I would try to trade the internet. And I know we're not on a keep cut trade, but I think I don't have to just give it up. I think I can get something for it, right?
What could you
Maybe
get?
get some good leather bound books for the internet, something like that. I mean,
Oh, what an
who
easy
knows?
trick. You got it.
I think that's
You
a
got it.
different game. We're playing a different game.
I know, but either which way. And by the way, it's not because I live in Arizona. I could do no AC in 110. I'm a desert rat. I don't care. But yeah, I'm dropping the
Yeah.
internet. Cass, who do you got? You picked a question.
Yeah, listen, here in Colorado, air conditioning and heat are essential. You can't live without them. Maybe the move for me is I'll move to LA and hang out with Smitty and ditch the air conditioning and heat because the internet just has too much good things that it gives us. Imagine all the streaming, Not to mention our fantasy football that we play, although I guess we could go analog, but the internet
Oh.
just has too much good things. It's all of the collective intelligence of man, all in your pocket all the time. I'm keeping it.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Okay, I got to backtrack a second. You brought up a really good point. I have never played fantasy football without the internet. I don't know how I would quite do that. And on top of that, I'm a portfolio manager. I'd have to read the ticker tape at work. No, no, no. You guys sold me. I'm bringing the internet back, and I'm trading. I'm trading. I'm trading the AC.
Yeah,
That's for damn
we
sure.
just got to move to LA to make it happen.
Oh, dude, we would blow up this podcast so fast if we went to LA. We'd be networking. We'd get in with all the stars. We'd find a way to get in with Kyron and introduce you and get your jersey signed there, Smitty.
Hell yeah.
So, Smitty, you
That's,
want to break down the trades for the week?
yep, we got a fun one. All right, so trades this week. We have one trade, and it's a backup running back swap. So Matt gets a little bit of Moss, and Bryce T receives a Missile. But the funny thing about this trade is that Matt gets Zach Moss, and Bryce T gets Elijah Mitchell. Uh, I I don't really have any thoughts on this trade, to be honest. What do you guys think about it?
Bryce handcuffed CMC, right?
He sure did.
Yeah. No, it's a good trade all around. Even though Zach Moss is not a backup running back any longer at the
No.
moment. So we look at it either which way. Matt, I love it. You're fighting me for last place right now. You're going out there making moves to not be in last place. I mean, I can't give you more respect. You're fighting. You're going down fighting. I love it. Fair trade across the
Live
board.
victory. I'm sorry, live victory. I'm sorry, live touchdown reaction. I'm sorry, I needed
Who
that.
got? Oh, Zach Charbonnet. Excellent. Hell yes. I'm
Boston
starting him
Charbonnet.
everywhere right now, and I feel crap because it's a Dallas defense. So, all right. So, any thoughts on that, Cassidy?
Yeah, I mean, I would be furious if I traded Moss to get my backup running back and then immediately JT went down. I'd be livid. Now, I know context is everything. He didn't know that when he made that trade. But, later on, we're going to talk about stupid people who want to be sad, and that's why we play fantasy. And one of the questions I asked you guys was, have you guys picked up anybody that you ended up letting go and you really should have held on to them? And my answer on that question was Moss. I had him early on. Was forced to drop him with bye weeks and everything as after JT took over the backfield, and yeah,
Well, that's a
that
good
would
segment.
sting right now.
Let's just jump into stupid people. Hold on a second.
All right, well, if we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about stupid people, I'll just finish mine, which is I've got DK and Chardonnay sitting on benches in leagues right now. So
You just couldn't wait for that new drop to hit, and you had to talk over it, didn't you? It was a really
yeah,
good drop, bro. I spent some
let's do
time
it.
editing that. I already did it, but we're going to do it again just so you can actually hear it.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, there's the drop. Yeah, so let's have in-game games going on. Cassie, your reaction. We had a great stupid people for you. Right in the text 10 seconds after it happened. Talk to me about your Thursday night game going on right now.
oh, dude, it's making my stomach hurt. I just as soon as that game started, DK and his 75-yard house call just made my stomach sink. It's like you make the best decisions you can with the information you have. And I played Nico Collins over DK in one league, Puka over him in another one because he just hasn't been getting it done. But boy, he looks like old school vintage DK tonight, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he does because DK Metcalf just put Tyreek Hill on notice. I can't wait to see this game this weekend. He put Tyreek Hill on notice and said, "You are not the fastest player in football," because he just ran 22.8 miles an hour tonight. That is point like 7 more faster than the Cheetahs ran. So you know what? All you Dolphins out there that keep saying you have the fastest team out there, there's a boy you might need to go get in the offseason just to add to your 22 mile an hour team.
That's
So
amazing.
Smitty, who do you got for I know Cassidy you said it, but basically what we're doing here is in stupid people who want to be sad. We're going to talk about some people that we've just dropped or just overlooked, just kind of just hasn't gone right for us. Smitty, who's yours?
You know what? I frankly, many, because I am an impatient man, especially when I'm losing. especially when I'm losing. When I'm losing, I cannot hold on to these rookies. The thing is, I love a rookie. I love their untapped potential, and I love the fact that in the second half of the season, it almost always comes through. But when you're losing, you just can't hold them, boys, especially with a smaller bench. So I've dropped many gems, and the one that pisses me off the absolute most because he was dropped by someone else, and I was like, okay, let's give him a shot. Rasheed Rice. I mean, he had the game last week. The game. He finally had it, and I'm sitting here just like, damn it, why did I drop him?
Yeah.
Bro, he got picked up so fast. That was a Saturday night drop, midnight my time. By 12:01, he was on somebody else's team, and I think it was Snake Eyes. I almost lost my mind over that one. But Smitty, I thought for sure we were gonna have oh my gosh, a Mac Jones conversation because he is now, I think, on his fifth team right now with Timo picking up on waivers when I dropped his punk ass. And the only time someone has traded him or dropped him that it hurt somebody was when Kamish beat you with Mac Jones, dude. Oh man.
That's okay. You know, that is a. I'm telling you, I'm just notorious at this type of shit. And also, trading away players. If that wants to be a topic for another day, we can have that. Because, I'd pretty much be having the best teams in the league. I just trade them all away just so y'all can take them to the top.
Yeah.
But you held tight on Christian Watson. You held tight.
No, no,
And
no.
even
I
made a
trade away
trade because you gave up on him.
What a mess. What a. I hate
I've,
this segment. This segment hurts.
It does. And you know what, it hurts me? I had to rack through a whole bunch of stuff in my brain of every stupid decision I've made all year, which has been quite a bit of them. But, mine really came down to Singletary. I drafted Singletary, and I firmly believe I bought into the coaching staff, brought their guy in, but it was the typical, I'm going to give him 2 or 3 weeks, see how this looks. It did look good. Dropped him. He's probably on the best the best team in this league now because Timo picked him up and he's been working for Tim. And I would
Yeah.
probably be a playoff team if I had Devin Singletary still on my team. I mean, it's that one hurts a little bit right there. So, Cassidy, I know we were talking over yours, but any other things you want to talk about on stupid people that want to be sad? Because I'm sad. Smitty's sad. Are you sad?
Yeah, I'm sad.
And my other one, by the way, was Gerald Everett, which we talked a little bit about because, man, what was he, tight end 6 last week? I'd probably still be in the playoffs if I carried him and started him, but oh well. So, onto that topic of being sad or being happy or wherever we want to do. So, I threw this one out there. I want to talk about a song that defines our fantasy season collectively, maybe in one league or in every league you guys want to talk about. Cassidy, what song defines your entire year in fantasy football?
That's funny. I really like this segment. That was a really good idea that you threw out there. I'm going to go with Keep On Truckin' by the Grateful Dead. You know, sometimes the lights all shine on me, and other times I can barely see. But that's what it really comes down to, man. I got on a slow start, a couple leagues, but I'm sitting pretty good place in all the leagues I care about. So keep on trucking. That's my mantra.
So, are you a deadhead?
I'm named after Neil Cassidy. So
Whoa.
Huh. I didn't know that. All right. Oh, I'm calling you Neil from now on. I don't even care. So when I saw your song, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense that he's a total live jam guy. Smitty, what's your song?
You know what? And this actually does kind of accurately describe all my leagues. Frank Sinatra, My Way. I got probably the top Rams players in every other league. So I'm doing this my way. And if it falls apart, it's okay. I did it my way. Shout out to Frank.
You know what? I gave you a
nice.
compliment that you're my favorite person I play fantasy football with because you always do it your way. And I love that you picked the song. And if you just saw my reaction, I didn't read your song until right then and there, and it made
Oh,
perfect
no way.
sense to me.
That's always
Oh,
perfect for Smitty.
by the way, live update in this game. CD Lamb is 6 for 75 and 1 right now. So yes, we asked the question a couple weeks ago: is this stack going to be a league a league winner?
Oh,
I think
my
that
God.
answer is happening, but I think he even just got a rush right there. So who knows? But my song that just kind of says everything I want to say about fantasy football this year is Metallica. Nothing else matters. I realized when we were doing some song drafts that you boys are Metallica fans. I grew up on that, one of my favorite bands out there. But Triple C, I played a lot of leagues. I played about 15 Dynasty. This is my only redraft league that I do, and this is the only league that matters to me. I do not care if I win all my 15 Dynasty leagues. I don't care. This is the only league that matters to me. And the lyrics that say, so close no matter how far, well, that defines last year. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Guys, I love you. This is why we're doing this podcast. Forever trusting who we are, because I do like playing the game my way and I do trust myself. But when the day's done, I'm out of this and nothing is going to matter to me until draft season next year when I plan to win this league again. So, man, you all have no idea. I can't believe I'm eliminated from the playoffs. I am so pissed, man. You guys are so good at fantasy football in this league. You guys really are. We got some people that really take this to the heart. But any other songs that were in the running for you guys? Cass, did you have a backup song?
No, this one, amazingly, right when I read your context, this one came right to me, and I was like, that is fucking perfect. I'm putting it in. But but to you did a great job holding it together until just now. Like, your attitude is so good, even with the realization that you've been eliminated from playoffs in the CCC. But just to your point, that's what makes this league so great, man. Is it's so competitive. It's such a hard league, and that's what makes it awesome.
Yeah, and we'll give shout out to Bryce. He's been in the finals every single year in this league, and I know how hard it is to make the fucking playoffs. So,
Yeah.
holy crap. I mean, let's just talk about coach of the Triple C so far. We can talk about that. But, Smitty, anything else you had on your mind? Any other songs came up to you?
Under Pressure by David Bowie, but the pressure's
Nice.
gone now.
That's a
The
great
pressure's
one.
gone. The pressure's gone.
Yeah.
I'm just here for a good time, not a long time.
Good call on both those songs.
Yeah, the other songs that came to mind, if you want to listen to our ballad draft of last week, it was literally me just singing a love song to my team because they left me. Um,
Yeah.
But let's talk about some dark horses. So let's get into real NFL now. I know we're kind of going back and forth here, but we got some real Super Bowl contenders. But we want to throw some dark horses in there right now. But I want to throw some kind of make believe players that are just faking right now that we think that they're on a run. Smitty, let's go with you. Let's just start with your dark horse for right now.
Okay, so yes, I understand that they're 8-3, but we really are not giving the Jaguars their due. They really are fighting for not only a playoff spot, but they're really trying to fight to win this thing. And I genuinely believe it. I genuinely believe it. I'm looking at the remainder of their schedule now, and the only game they have potential of losing, notice how I said potential, would be the Ravens. That could possibly be the game they lose. Now, let's say they get to the playoffs and they have to play the 49ers again. Oh, did the 49ers smoke them? Yes, they did. But they learn and they react. They react perfectly, and I'm just ready to see them do very well. So shout out to the Jaguars. I believe they are the dark horse to win this whole thing.
So then you're making a bet on Trevor Lawrence. Is that what I
Absolutely.
to understand here? So
Yep.
he's been a very bipolar quarterback in fantasy football this year. It's very hard to trust him, although he's been playing really well. I mean, you don't think the wheels are going to fall off the bus here?
The thing is, I felt almost the exact same way about Dak Prescott, and he's literally blowing my mind right now. Like, if Dak can do it, Trevor can definitely do it. Because I do think, deep down, Trevor can be better than Dak.
He can be. We've seen
That's a
it.
spicy take. That's a hot take.
I love it. That's what a dark horse is. Cassie, what are your thoughts on the Jags?
I almost picked them as my pretender. I have a hard time buying in because they've looked so bad at other times this year. But I will hand it to
Yeah.
Smitty. It looks like they've had a little spark of life lately, and like they've come alive. So maybe they can hold on.
I'd like to see it. I mean, I genuinely like everyone on their team. Go for it. I'd love to see it. But Smitty, you were talking about those Cowboys a little bit there. Actually, I'll jump on that in a second. Cassie, who do you guys are dark horse?
My dark horse, I'm going to stick with Houston. Kind of a pick of the heart, but I think they've got a shot to win their division, which means they can go to a conference game. And man, this is a dark horse, so it's a long shot, but they seem to have the skills to be able to do that. Like, they can compete with anybody.
Fully agree.
No, hands down, I want to see it. I did the whole, NFL's broken segment, I think 2, 3 weeks back. I want CJ Stroud to get an MVP trophy as a rookie. That team has my team's, or we have my team has that team's pick, and I don't even care about it. It could be the 32nd pick in the league. I don't even care. I want to see it. It's fun, which gets back to me calling the NFL out. This is fun. Let's have some fun. That's what we want to see. When I looked at dark horses, by the way, guys, it's kind of funny that I was going to call the Bills into a dark horse contender because they're not looking good. By the way, let me ask you this, Cassidy, as a fantasy football manager, do you even give a crap about Josh Allen having so many interceptions? Does that even remotely knock him a tier down for you?
No, not for fantasy.
Not at all. Not at all. Don't even care. Smitty, does that bug you at all?
In some leagues, those can be really penalized, but he still does a lot on the ground alone to like neutralize it if you are getting -6 points. So at the end of the day, no. But if it was a league that was really penalized, like even -8 points for interceptions, I'd be a little questionable, a little weary. But he's too good. I mean, 300 yards in the air, just he can neutralize it. So at the end of the day, no.
Yeah, I thought about that, and I'm sorry I got off topic, but I actually believe that Josh Allen wins you weeks. He'll win you 8 weeks a year, and he'll lose you
Hmm.
2 weeks with the interceptions. But who really cares about those 2 weeks because you want the 8 to 10 wins.
Amen.
But so I do have the Bills as a dark horse. There was some news that came out that's pegging that down just a little bit because they might lose a big time defensive player, and this is going to be an on air pivot. Who do we consider a dark horse? Do they have to be at least second place in their league or in their division?
I think if they can make the playoffs, they can. If you make the playoffs, it's just like our fantasy. Make the playoffs, you can go the distance.
Why is nobody talking about the Miami Dolphins as a Super Bowl contender, Cassidy?
Well, it's funny. So that's my pretender. That's my pretend team.
That's why I set you up.
they're gonna win the division, but then they're gonna have to go against a good team, and we've already seen this. They can't win against a team with an actual winning record.
It's that timing offense. You throw it off. It's hard, but I don't know, man. If they hit a 3 game run, ooh, look out. What's your thoughts on Miami here, Smitty?
I mean, I honestly think Hard Knocks made them just boring again. Like I don't care for this team anymore. But we'll see. I don't know. Their flash really isn't so special to me. Like watching that Black Friday game, I'm looking at Tua like, man, I don't know. Like I don't know about Tua anymore. Like just as like a phenomenon. Like I'd rather have T-Law on that offense than Tua because he's a
Smitty,
turnover machine too, low key.
Smitty. Do not sit here and tell me Trevor Lawrence you would rather have as a Super Bowl winning quarterback than Tua is a much better quarterback. He is a
Okay, like
much better quarterback.
deep down, I agree, but I'm seeing I'm seeing a lot of interceptions and turnovers. I'm not loving what I'm seeing from Tua. That's just it. I'm not loving it.
All right. Well, if anybody plays in Dynasty with Mr. Carl over here, send him an offer if you have Trevor Lawrence. He's willing to pay for it right now.
Oh
So
yeah,
let's,
that's a fact.
yeah. Anyway, so we're talking a little bit about pretenders. I'm just going to talk about the Cowboys. And Cassie, I'm going to make the same argument you just made about the Dolphins because when they get their face smacked against Philadelphia, when they get the 49ers come in and just play physical football with you, the Dallas Cowboys traditionally break. And I think they're a pretender. And the only reason I think they're a pretender is because they've had a really good 3 week run. Everybody's talking about them now, which is, I think, just propping them up a little bit. I think they're somewhere in the middle with the first 5 games, with the back 3 games that they just did. I think we're pretending a little bit on the Cowboys. That might be a hot take, but we got to pick somebody that's a pretender, and pretenders are like just like yours, Miami. That looks pretty. That looks pretty. They got it shined in 3 players over 20 miles an hour, 21 miles an hour running. It looks pretty, and that's what pretenders do. Is they get beat by physical football teams in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
let's talk about you, Smitty. What do you think about the Cowgirls? You always call them the Cowgirls. We hate that team.
Yeah, I mean, frankly I'm enjoying the type of play they're doing. But as of right now, Seahawks look competitive, and all I really want is for the Seahawks to be the second to the last team on. I want the Seahawks to lose. I want them to be worse than us. That's all I want. So if the Cowboys can pick this up, score a little more, and bury them a little further, I'd be happy. So you know what? You might be right on that Pretenders thing because this game's a little
Yeah.
closer than I like.
Can the Rams make the playoffs? I haven't looked at that too tight because
Oh,
they might be a dark
that's
horse.
a good question.
They might be a
Um,
dark horse.
can they? If
All right, Cassidy, I'll
Kyler
start to
Murray's
you. Let's let
healthy,
Smitty think.
I'm not. He tell me the record. I think that they're in the middle of that division right now, right?
Yeah,
5-6,
they got a running
5
game,
wins, 6 losses.
two good
Yeah.
receivers, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and a hell of a coach. I guess it relies
Yeah.
on the defense a little bit there. So anyway, Cassidy, I've teed you up because I want you to have an in-depth conversation about this. Because on my screen, I have Battle of the Birdies, Eagles v Ravens Super Bowl. I want to talk about this big time.
Yeah,
Cassidy,
sure.
please.
I was just kind of trying to figure out. We're looking at who's a dark horse for the Super Bowl, who's at the top of their division right now, but maybe aren't the real deal, right? Who's pretending? And I thought, well, let's talk about who's going to go all the way. Who are my picks? And I think right now, I like the Eagles and the Ravens to make it. Battle of the Birdies for the
Hmm,
for the Super Bowl.
I
okay.
think winner of 49ers Eagles is going to tell me who's going to be in the NFC this year. But y'all know I've been saying this for about 6 weeks now. Baltimore Ravens are the best team in football. Smitty, any thoughts on Battle of the Birdies?
Yeah, I definitely think those Blackbirds are Ravens. Better yet, well, I think they are definitely pretending. And honestly, it's because of Andrews, Mark Andrews. Because of his loss, they looked a little iffy against the Chargers. And I'm talking about the shitty ass Chargers. Like they are not great. They're falling apart. Their coach is going to be fired tonight. I mean, like, why are you
Maybe.
struggling against that team? Why? Like on prime time too? Are you kidding me? Shout out to the bouquet though. I don't mean to talk about this game, but I do love Zay Flowers' little bouquet fucking celebration. I thought that was pretty
Hmm.
cool, but outside of that, that game was ugly. So I don't know. Pretender vibes in my opinion.
So I want to play devil's advocate because I've been thinking about something the last 2 or 3 weeks, and we're talking about Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's running, but this isn't, years past Lamar. He's playing some of the most efficient football I've seen out of a quarterback in a long time. But let me ask you this. What happens when Baltimore is down 3 points going in the second half of a football game, and all the film study that that team has done is looking at the offense the way it's ran now, and they finally let Lamar Jackson loose because he's not running the way he used to because he kept getting injured at the end of last year. They're going to take the chains off of this man, and no one is going to have to be prepared for it when they hit the playoffs. And that's my take on why they're the best team in football. Now, Cassidy, any other thoughts on any other teams you want to talk about?
No, I would just add though that the Ravens, I think it's their defense. Like Smitty was kind of talking about their offense, kind of struggling against the Chargers, but they're one of the few teams out there that's the whole package. I think they're the real deal. So I think they can go the distance.
Yeah. Are the Detroit Lions, are they pretenders?
Low key.
That's yeah, right. I mean, that's like the opposite side of the coin. They've got a great offense, but they can't stop anybody.
32nd against the run the last 4 weeks. I mean, that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
But they might be pretending, and I was kind of hyping them coming out of the NFC. So we'll see. Smitty, anyone else you want to talk about, or you want to rebut that? Take the chains off of Lamar comment.
No, I actually don't. I thought that was a fantastic point. Like, yeah, once he gets to running, I mean, we're all scared because that run game is already pretty great with Mitchell coming to his own and Gus Buzz just getting it done at goal line. Yeah, once Lamar starts running, it's actually a very dangerous team. Great point. You got me there. You got me.
I try. The sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while here. So, all right, let's get to the next segment. I got one going here. Let's do it. All right, let's talk about Coach of the Week. Cassidy, I'm going to start with you. Just preach. Just preach to the choir.
It's so silly, man. Like it's ridiculous. I'm starting to sound like a fanboy here, but dude, coach of the week is Bryce. It's Bryce again. He blew his projections out of the water. He won by the biggest margin. He had the highest score. And there were some big scores this week. I mean, this was a high scoring week, and he still was the high
Yeah.
scoring So, and there's something also to it. Just the massive comeback, the big turnaround that his season has had. So
He
easy
hasn't
work for
lost
me
since
again
I
this
said he
week.
was going to make the playoffs. When I made the water bet, he hasn't lost.
That's
And I think
right when it turns around. Yep.
he's been top three in scoring, I think, almost every single week. I don't even need to talk about mine. I'm going to preach to the choir. Cheers, Bryce. Whatever, man. I'm so jealous of you right now. Smitty, who you
I have
guys
a
coaching the week?
question. Even though he traded away a player that can carry him, no question, to the playoffs, if he's still fighting for an insurance policy back, did that still make him the coach of the week?
Yes, because
All right,
his
all right. Just had
entire
to ask.
his entire playoff run is going to be based on CMC. That is the backbone of his entire team. And we have seen that the Missile, if something happens to CMC, can be incredibly productive in there. And if I have to fill in a slot in the playoffs, man, if CMC goes down, Zach Moss doesn't fill. Maybe he does, but maybe JT's back at that point. We don't know. So I think it was Phil solidifying a playoff run, which I
Yeah,
haven't even looked at his team, but I guarantee he probably has his defenses all set for the playoffs right now. I mean, he literally 3 weeks ago did trades planning for this week of buys. So yeah, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir. I really am, but I love that take. That's a good point, Smitty. I mean, Cass, what do
Yeah.
you think?
Well, you can't analyze trades based on what happens after the fact. It's like you could always trade somebody and they get hurt or whatever. Like with the information you had at the time of the trade, it was probably the right move.
Yeah.
yeah,
Anything else?
you're right.
Let's get on to one of my favorite segments. Let's do it. Hold on. Let's do it. Cassidy, who's your beach boy?
Yeah, man. This week, I think you can fire up Dearness Johnson. Now, we don't really know exactly what's going on with ETN. I had actually was thinking about Dearness Johnson just based on how ETN got banged up last week. It's funny if you go and you look on Sleeper right now and you read ETN status, they'll tell you that Tank Bigsby's going to get more run. But I think that the coaching staff has switched over. I think Dearness Johnson's the next man up, and there's a chance that ETN doesn't even go this week. So obviously, Dearness Johnson is a smash play in that scenario. But I think you can throw him in either way.
Yeah.
This is the best beach boy anyone's picked yet. And actually, no, two. Noah Brown was, for the year, best beach boy. Smitty
Yeah,
was on
that
that
was
before it
amazing.
happened. But
Yeah,
this is the ultimate beach boy. And I actually thought I was going to get to pick him. And when you did, I was a little bit mad because not only is he available on waiver wires and redraft, I just watched him get picked up in 12 different dynasty leagues off of the waivers. That is as
yeah,
beach boy as it gets. He's not even rostered in dynasty. I thought it was
yeah.
incredible. Smitty, what's your take on Dearness Johnson? You love that football team, and then just jump onto your beach boy as you're talking.
Yeah, so I held on to Tanks. I think I picked up Tanks Bigsby like week 3 and just held on to him as long as I could because that run game, the stuff you see with ETN is quietly elite. Like that run game is smooth. And what we've seen with Dearness Johnson so far is you can plug and play. Like you can plug anyone in that run game. They're gonna have success. So yeah, I love that pick. It's better than mine who I chose Zay Jones. I mean, and I'm just looking at oh, by the way, the Bengals, their run defense ass, but they're also their secondary ass. So you can throw on them, you can run on them. They need help defensively. So yeah, you can play the game on the run. So shout out to Dearness, or you can play the game with the receivers. So shout out to Zay Jones as well as Calvin Ridley, who's going to have a great game come Monday night.
So, Cassidy, you're the biggest baller guy I know outside of me, probably. Now, when I say that, what's Zay Jones' nickname?
Oh, he's the spot start.
He's the
Spot
friggin'
start.
spot starter. Throw him in, man. He's Beach Boy territory. He always gets you points when you need him in a spot start. So, fire his ass up. Cassie, what do you think about Zay this week?
Yeah, man, I hadn't thought about playing him, so I'm glad that Smitty's given us the confidence to throw him in our
Terrible,
lineup.
terrible secondary.
That's what Beach Boys are. That's what Beach Boys
Yeah.
are. So, crap, who did I pick as my Beach Boy here? Oh, I'm going Mr. Jeff Wilson. My name is Jeff. That And by the way, that's if Buzz Lightyear doesn't play. I had Tyler Lockett picked in case Buzz didn't go, but let's just say we recorded this on Thursday. The game's going, so Buzz doesn't play. I'll throw a different Beach Boy out there in the chat. But I actually want to ask this question. Can somebody go from a star wide receiver to a Beach Boy? And that's what I wanted to talk about, why I picked Tyler Lockett. Is he a Beach
Hell
Boy
yeah.
this year?
Yeah. That offense is pissing me off sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of NBA Jam rules, right? If they've had enough down weeks in a row, sometimes you need the confidence to throw them in your lineup. And if they've been on the beach sipping margaritas for like a month, that makes them a beach boy.
Opposite the NBA.
Holy crap.
Oh,
That
that's
actually is
fun.
that's the funniest thing you've said on this podcast yet, Cass. That was great. Anybody else you guys want to talk about that could be a Beach Boy before we jam on to what we really came here for, was to be immature and draft?
No, on a draft.
Kinda has a banged up team. Shout out to AT Bear. What? We can move on. Oh, good.
Nobody could hear you. Just say it. I couldn't hear
I mean,
you.
that's good. That's good.
Shout out to J.P. Perry.
All right, let's do it. I'm stupid. I had fun doing that this week. All right, so we got what we're drafting today, everybody. I hope you're still listening. This is horrible, but also great. So we're drafting best Marvel villains. Now, I will say we did not specify if it has to be a Marvel movie or an original comic. So I don't know what you guys are picking. I interpreted it the way I wanted to. I will say I went all movies. I won't give my hand away, but best Marvel villain. Now, before we get into this draft. Before we get into this draft, I want to talk about this. I was really excited to draft this when Smitty picked it. And then I started re-looking at who all the villains were in Marvel. And I realized that I am a complete addict of the villains in the DC universe, and I love the heroes in the Marvel universe. It's kind of crazy where all my favorite villains of comic books are all in the DC universe. So we got the 101. Cassidy, who are you drafting at the 101?
Well, dude, I was pretty glad to see that I had the 101 once I realized what the topic for this week was, because for me, it's very clear. I think there's just a straight up, easy, hands down 101. And for me, it's Thanos. Thanos is the villain in what I thought was the 101 for all the Marvel movies. The Infinity War. And he's like, not only is he the most powerful, but you kind of empathize with this guy too, right? Like, he sort of just wants what he thinks is best for the universe. And looking at overpopulation, it's kind of easy to agree with him. Like, hey, maybe the universe wouldn't suck if just half of y'all disappeared. So, Thanos, with all his Infinity Stones, 101.
I really was hoping he was a clear 101. I was hoping you let that slip to me because I wanted to make a joke, and the joke was, if I could only have his powers in the Triple C and make the playoffs because everyone else dies. So yes, Thanos to me, absolutely. And I'm not talking about personally your team. Your team, guys. Everybody up there, I don't want you to go your team.
Did y'all hear what he did?
Yeah, he's got the time stone. You can turn back time. Thanos can do anything. He can turn back time.
He is. All right, I'm just going to pick what literally, I think he would come back to me. I don't think Carl's going to pick him, but this goes back to Boondock Saints days because Willem Dafoe is just the man. I love everything he does. Green Gobbler, when he did the Spider-Man, Willem Dafoe, cheers, because you're wicked smart, Willem Dafoe. You're wicked smart. Who you got for 103?
Awesome pick. Jesus. What I love about this is I can choose two players, right? I mean, two villains, right? So I'm about to have all the fun in the world.
Yeah.
My 103, Killmonger from Black Panther. Spoiler alerts, pissed he died. Capital P-I-S-S-E-D, he died.
Yeah.
Pissed.
He
God, I
was
love
great.
Killmonger. Fantastic player. Fantastic villain. And for 201, I almost called him by his spoiler name, but I'm going to just stick with Loki. Shout out to Loki.
Oh, yeah.
And I just can't say much more about it because his show just ended and it was phenomenal. Shout out to Loki. OG.
So would Green Gobbler gone back to me? I have to know because I'm really mad.
I would not have thought about him.
Not on my list.
And that was a great move.
Really? All right.
So yeah, would have.
I just I really wanted to make the wicked smart joke. I really
You
did.
would
Oh,
have got
I'm
off.
so mad. All right. Well, I'm gonna go on. You know what? Was he a villain? Was he not? He was trying to kill the universe in his own little way. But Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite movies of all time. I drafted him 3 weeks ago on something, but Ego from Galaxy of the Guardians second. This dude rode a spaceship to his planet. That was
Oh, I
him.
knew you would choose this guy. I knew this was the 202 easily. Yeah.
Oh, the coolest scene ever is when Star Lord looks over. He's like, "Is that guy surfing his spaceship?"
Yeah.
So I'm going personal favorites. Apparently, I'm losing this draft and don't even care. Cassie, who do you got? You're up on the double block.
Nice. That's exciting. I can pick up two guys here. I'm gonna go with. I guess I was like kind of thinking like whose villains could just like kick all y'all's ass. So I'm gonna take the next one that could just kill all you
Damn
or
it!
kick all your guys' ass. I'm going
Oh,
Ultron.
Oh,
why did I think he'd come back?
oh.
I'm just going. I'm going like battle royale villains, dude. With Thanos and Ultron, you guys don't stand a chance.
Dude,
Um,
Ultron kicked off the Avengers. That was the first Avengers, right?
yeah, and it was actually like really, really well done. That was an interesting villain for them to pick, but it really worked out. That was great. Um, Second one, I'm going to pick more from my heart. This one, I just always been one of my favorites, even going back to comic book time. But I love the actor Tom Hardy. I'm going Venom.
Okay, shout to Venom. I hated
All
that
right.
movie.
Hold on a second. I gotta really go down my list. I didn't think you guys were clearing all these out. Let me go. Give me just a second. Where's my guy? Oh no, I
I
don't want
love my
that one.
Thanos Ultron Venom team.
All right. Well, I'm gonna throw it out for Captain America. I'm gonna go with Red Skull. That was a great character, great
Red Skull.
movie. Yeah, Captain America's the man. I'm sure there's some better ones out there. That was a total tilt pick on my part, 100%. So Smitty, you go because I got to figure out a
All right.
fourth
Oh,
here
so we're
now.
doing 4 rounds. Fantastic. Oh, I ended this draft. All right. So my next villain, he who remains, Kang the Conqueror. I just wish the actor wasn't so spicy because he would have
Nice.
been a serious problem. And so that's my 303. And my 404 or 401, honestly, I don't know how y'all feel about this as villain or not, but Wanda Maximoff, she's
Yeah,
great.
she's on my
I
list. She
love,
I'm
is.
I
a, yeah.
love,
That
I love Scarlet Witch. Shout out to her. Yeah, so
Scarlet Witch,
damn, I
yeah.
love my team. It was great.
Yeah, your
Great.
team's solid. I'm losing this draft, boys, because your two team is strong. I wish I had yours. So since I'm losing the draft anyway, my fourth pick is just going to be based off of I like the actor, I love the movie. Let's go with Whiplash from Iron 2 because Mickey Rourke, stellar role as Whiplash. So I'll close my draft out on Whiplash. Cassidy, close us out and then recap the draft for us.
All right, great. Um, I'm a little bit torn here. Childhood favorite villain or one of my new favorite ones? I'll stick with my heart here. I'm going to go Magneto. I always loved him as a kid reading the X-Men comics. That was my shit.
Yeah, I grew up like
Was Magneto was he misunderstood? I always felt Magneto was misunderstood. And by the way,
Yeah, for
what a
sure.
cool power! What a cool power
Yeah,
that would be to just anything metal.
yeah. Anything metal. He can just do anything he wants with anything metal. So fucking crazy. Yeah, and I think he kind of thought that he was trying to make things better, although he obviously was not. But
Yeah. I secretly want him to kill Professor X for some reason every X-Men movie. I don't know why. I
that's so
secretly
funny.
do. Yeah. All right. Guys, we appreciate any last thoughts on drafting or anything you want to talk about in fantasy football before we kick it out of
that
here?
draft. That turned out way better
That
than
was fun,
expected.
guys.
Wow, fun episode, fellas.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, Smitty, great pick. By the way, Cassidy, you're up on the next pick, so you let us know who it is. We'll get it done. All right, Triple C, sickos, thank you for listening to us be ridiculous for an hour. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.